Touchstone Pictures. Monstrous trolls have sprung to life.
I sure hope you're from Cleveland.
And now Ernest P. Worrell is springing into action. He'll try anything
I know Tai Chi Kung Fu, chow mein.
and everything
Your shoes untied.
to save the day.
It's showtime.
It's Ernest P. Worrell in a brand new movie, Ernest Scared Stupid.
How about a bumper sandwich, booger lips? Know what I mean?
Starts Friday, October 11th at a theater near you.
And welcome back, everybody, to 0.Point Reviews. I am joined by Kevin and Will this time, and we're checking out, yes, you heard it, Ernest Scared Stupid. All right, I know Kevin really recommended this one to us. So, Kevin, I'm going to start with you. What do you got for this movie? Why'd you recommend this one to us?
I think begged for the last 2 or 3 months has been more accurate.
Yeah, true.
Simply because I love Ernest, and like I looked as hard as I could find for this DVD for years, and now that I finally have it, it's like I watch it every Halloween at least like 4 times, and then sometimes in between the year.
Now, where'd you get this on DVD? Because full disclosure, I had to go on Amazon Prime and rent this on streaming because I could not find a DVD or a Blu-ray for a reasonable price.
I want to say it was a 3-pack that had Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Scared Stupid, and Ernest Goes to Jail.
Okay.
And it was like $5 at Walmart for the longest time, and then they went out of print.
Oh, that's probably why they're out of print then. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was when Disney Plus happened or what.
Yeah, it's Touchstone, so they own the first 4 movies at least.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I saw this one in the theater, and I've always loved this flick.
Yeah. Now, Will, was this your first time checking this one out, or have you ever heard or seen these before?
I had heard of Ernest. I'd seen the posters as a kid, and my mom definitely would not let me watch them because of insulting intelligence. And yeah, I'd agree.
It's on the list.
It's on the list.
Like,
That's
wow.
it. You just made the list.
It was a real struggle to get through the first 15 minutes before my nervous system was just like adapted to the horror.
Well, if you have not seen the other ones before, I can definitely understand how you're walking into this series, like even nowadays. Like if you're a first-time viewer, you're like, I can definitely see this is stupid. Well, for those of us who were able to actually see it back when it was around, that was the whole point of these, was it was stupid for children, just like Varney was stupid for children, yet somewhat educational. This didn't have educational, but you know, for those of us who saw it at that age when this came out, this stuff was pretty funny. It definitely wore out its welcome around once it got into like the 5th or the 6th film, because this franchise kept going beyond 4. But like Ernest Scared Stupid is technically the last official of the first 4 movies that were in theaters. After that, they were no longer in theaters. I never saw this in theaters. However, I did see this on like cable TV. I don't know if it was USA Channel or TBS or who it was or where it was. I just don't remember seeing all of them on like TV. But like Ernest Scared Stupid definitely is a higher rank for me. But this story is like all over the place. The characters are all over the place. The whole movie makes like no sense at all. This would almost be perfect for a Mystery Science Theater 3000 for Scared Stupid at the minimum, or a good riff tracks.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. There's a lot of potential for that. There's a lot of riffing potential.
I think it's too self-aware for that. I really do.
That's true.
You could riff anything, but this movie knows exactly what it is.
Yeah, and it's Jim Varney. I mean, the dude just completely goes off the rails. He even makes fun of the movie while he's in it. So.
Yes. Jim Varney. Wow, my lights just powered up. Yeah. Like a power surge. Woo!
The lights have come forth on the show.
Either that or it's
agreeing with me.
It's the ghost of Ernest saying, you know what? I like what you're doing there.
Yep.
But he was a genius. Like comedically, he was a fucking genius. He was a Shakespearean trained actor, just like Raul Julia was.
Right.
But faces and different characters is what really started making him money. My friend Nikki did a really great video of him on her YouTube channel called Trivial Theater.
Okay.
And she basically tells the evolution of Jim Varney's characters and how it progressed in Ernest and all the different characters from there. And he was a brilliant dude. And yeah, the writing comes off as childish because that's the core audience.
Oh, exactly.
But I mean, it was just as creative as say like Pee-wee's Big Adventure with all the props that they used.
Yeah, Pee-wee's had the benefit of a bit more solid writing and not being so slapsticky.
Yes.
It kept its eye on like how much was maybe too much. And even at times that was pushing it. We should maybe consider covering that sometime in the future.
I like Pee-wee. I'd watch it. I mean, I'd cover it.
Or is it?
Oh yeah, but well, let's not get on the.
We digress.
That's a whole other rabbit hole for me.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Jim Varney, the faces that he could make. I mean, say what you will about Jim Carrey, Jim Varney really started all that crazy shit with just his amazing faces, and each face could be a different character.
Oh God, yeah, and he did actually do like several different characters in this. He played like his great grandfather. He played like a couple different female versions of his character. So hi, thank you, Mrs. Doubtfire. And he did like Caesar. He did like ancient, he did like several different incarnations of himself, and it was funny each time.
Yeah, and he had like an Alan Quartermain type character.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember, and I couldn't.
Yeah, I was like, is he an Aussie? No, I would just call him Alan Quartermain.
Yeah,
but no, my favorite of his characters has always been the old lady, where he's got his neck down like this.
Oh yeah.
The old lady always has the best lines. She always does. In this one, it's like she's so weak, but she's got the little lever to push to stop the last trolls.
Right.
And she does it ever so gently. A woman's job is never done. She's just terrifying, and I love her.
Yeah. Now, what did you think of like say the special effects on this? Because say what you will about the movie, but like the practical effects were pretty spot on, and it's done by the Kyoto brothers from Killer Clowns from Outer Space fame.
Yeah, I didn't really realize that until today. For whatever reason, I always thought it was Rick Baker.
Yeah.
Which is a compliment to both parties, because I love and respect them both. But yeah, now that you mentioned that, I was like, oh yeah, some of the other trolls were just repurposed clowns.
Yeah, I meant to like send a message to you last night when I was watching this with Amy, and I'm like, oh my God, it's the Kyoto brothers. But I'm like, oh, of course, Kevin probably already knows this, so I don't need to send him a message.
Yeah, no, I didn't. And my friends online are probably all gonna make fun of me, like, really, dude. But no, the practical effects is the one upside for me and one downside for kids. Because this is a kids movie, but considering how good these special effects were, the practical effects, it's kind of scary for kids. Like, I was kind of worried, like, should I show this to my 8-year-old? He's kind of sensitive. Yeah. Fortunately, he didn't give a shit. He didn't want to watch it.
Yeah. So you were safe on that one.
No, I was like, fuck him. I'll watch it with the 3-year-old girl. Come here.
Yeah.
But
bringing up the kids the right way.
She's the evil one anyway.
Yeah.
But no, this was a bit scary for kids. There are some scenes that they're pretty good jumps.
Oh yeah.
Like when the little girl is looking underneath her bed and you figure the troll's going to pull her down or something like that, and nothing happens until she rolls over and the fucking troll's in bed with her, looking at her like on the pillow.
That was so freaking creepy.
Yeah, like I have bad dreams about shit like that, especially after watching things like Rose Red.
Oh yeah. When that scene happened, I just kind of smiled. I'm like, oh, that's good. That's a good touch. So at least they try to maintain some sense of like horror for the Halloween theme going on. And it's funny that the stupid creature, when he finally gets revealed, like in the last like third act, he's up on stage just standing next to everybody, and he's like, yeah, you don't know it's coming. Yeah, you don't know it's coming. I'm gonna kill you.
That thing, the troll, is like when he gets his final form and his like claws are all out and his got things coming out of his ears, it's like, you are the most impractical creature killing machine I have ever seen.
This is
like,
true.
How do you grab anything with them claws, man? But
Yeah.
they made him so terrifyingly ugly that it was almost ridiculous.
Well, with a completely oversized head, I'm like, wow. I mean, definitely they were going for the goof, but
Yes.
it was and the snot flying everywhere. That was all tremendous. I'm like, there you go with the icky and the gooey. You know, as kids, we love that stuff. That was great.
Oh yeah. And may I just say, the special effects in this when they get all gooey and shit was much better than the War of the Worlds TV show.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey, take notes, dudes. That's the show to not follow suit on.
Yeah, no. Like this week has been so great since compared to the week before. But no, I mean they're great, and this was fun, and the fact that they were all getting blown up by milk was pretty fantastic.
What? Not Miak?
Not Miak, Bulgarian Miak.
Yep, Bulgarian Miak.
They have shirts that says got Miak. And
oh,
it's
really?
Got it's got the picture. There it is. Yeah. Of the Miak bottle on there. It's like, oh, I think I need one of those.
Oh, that's pretty good. You know, watching this movie, I actually thought there should be, you know how there's Troll and Troll 2, and Troll 2 is the best first movie ever made, or, you know, labeled as such. Mm-hmm. This should have been called Troll 3, Ernest Scared Stupid, as the subtitle. And that would have been a very, then you could keep all the Troll movies stupid and fun and all in one universe. And then you could have had the guy from part 2 come in and join in with Ernest as like some sort of like dad or dentist, actually, because that's what he is in real life.
Oh God, really?
Yeah. I don't know. I thought, I know, stupid idea, and then another stupid idea don't exactly equate to an even dumber idea, or maybe it does. I don't know.
It works for us half the time.
But it was, to me, I kind of looked at this like another Troll movie. It's like, you know what? This is stupid, but it's fun in its own charming way. And that's what it's all about with Ernest. There's always a little bit of an endearing charm to it. And some of the stuff does not age well. It's like, you got this old dude hanging out with little kids in a forest by himself.
In a tree.
Doesn't sound quite right. Doesn't look quite right. But at least back then, you didn't get those creepy vibes, because there weren't those creepy vibes then.
Yeah, it's not that people weren't molested or killed or anything like that. We just didn't talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't popular. It was like, it was cooler to have a big brother figure like Ernest or Pee-wee.
Yeah.
Who are both giant man children. Like that's basically what they are.
Right.
So, or in Ernest's case, the great redneck Hope.
Yeah, and that's how they looked at him in the movie from all the other adults. Is like, he's just a giant kid. We know he's dumb.
Yeah, but he's so sweet though, and that's one of the things that Jim Varney does in all 4 of the first 4 movies.
Yeah.
Like he has a moment where it's like he could turn his face just so genuinely sad that you do bleed for Ernest a little bit.
Yeah, I put that all on Jim Varney for being completely relatable in the role while still going completely over top with it at the same time.
Yes. And then speaking over the top, we cannot end this without talking about Eartha Kitt.
What?
Eartha Kitt is the most over the top crazy old lady that you've ever seen that's not from Jim Henson's Creature Shop.
Crazy.
She was the little girl at the beginning of the flick that happened in the 1800s.
Yep.
And now she's 100 some years old and is a what type of artist would you call that?
Metal artist?
Metal, yeah.
Metallurgy?
Yeah, like she does the really neat metal statues.
Yeah.
Yeah, artist
fabricator.
Fans. Maybe
like fabricator, some kind.
Yeah,
listeners, please let me know.
Yeah, please, put the comment down below so we have a full actual operational knowledge of who that's supposed to be in industry.
But like, 2 of the greatest things that I absolutely love about this flick is, one, Eartha Kitt was in her 70s or 80s when she made this movie.
Yeah, I think so.
And she was still fucking beautiful. Like she never ever got I don't want to say ugly because that's a terrible word,
No.
but she never became unattractive as she grew older. She remained very pretty, much like Nichelle Nichols.
Oh yeah.
But Eartha Kitt had a wonderful sense of confidence. And you could see that when she managed to get her fucking skirt pulled up and show off her fucking legs that were fucking firm as shit at 80 some years old. And then the other part that I love that she just won this movie for me is she's trying to bring her siblings back by putting the little wood carvings.
Yeah, and she kept them.
Yeah, she'd kept the soulless wood carvings. She puts them back in the tree, and as she's trying to put them in there, a troll comes up and fucking screams at her, and she just turns and looks at it and screams back at it.
That was great. I'm like, there we go. Some adults that are like, oh, I'm not spooked by like these goofy little things. Fuck that.
No, but she was scary as fuck, though. I loved it.
Yeah, and I don't know if it had been just that I hadn't seen this movie for like so long, but I kind of forgot like her role in this. So it's like when she was grabbed the wooden figures from her home, I'm like, holy shit, that's right. She's the little girl from the beginning of the movie. I completely forgot about that. So I thought that was a really nice touch, and that she was able to get her siblings back.
Yeah, and that added another level of sweetness to it too.
Oh yeah, between Jim Varney and her, they were the core of this movie. Without both of them, I think this movie might have failed.
Yes.
And technically it did fail at the box office, which is why a lot of these went direct to video after this. But like the first three made bank for the studio, or they wouldn't have even gotten to this one anyway.
Did the third one make a whole lot of money? And I only asked that because I didn't like the third one as much.
It did. I don't know if it made as much as they had hoped, but it was still successful enough to go ahead and do a Halloween one.
Fair enough. Like, because I love the Halloween one, but Ernest Goes to Jail, it was never my jam.
Yeah, that's not one of my favorites either.
Yeah, like my two favorites are the Saves Christmas and then Scared Stupid. Like, Ernest Saves Christmas to me, fuck, say what you will about the greatest story ever told or Jesus of Nazareth or Jesus of Nazareth. Ernest Saves Christmas is the best Christmas movie of all time.
It's a Wonderful
right there with
Life?
Gremlins, only on Riff Tracks.
Oh, so Die Hard's off the beaten path. Black Christmas is no longer in the running. Krampus sucks too, huh?
Krampus is great, but it's not Gremlins and it's not Ernest Saves Christmas.
I know, I'm kidding. I love Krampus.
But Krampus is right near it. That's a dope flick.
That's seriously dope.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, Kevin, you got any other thoughts on this? Will, you have any thoughts?
I'm just not my thing. I'm not into slapstick. It's very cheerful, and I don't like faces. The faces bug me. I don't know why.
So stay tuned next week. It'll be Ernest Goes to Jail just for Will.
Oh no,
I'm
you guys
kidding.
said there was only one more coming. Oh God.
No, there's technically 9 more. You're in for a rough ride, buddy.
Oh God, could you imagine if we watched the last 5? That would not be okay.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. I think my last question for you guys is: would you name your dog Rimshot?
No, but I would name it Rim Job.
I mean, if you're
Rimshot sounds silly.
Yeah.
If you're gonna commit to something, commit all the way. I like your moxie, Kevin.
I'm just saying.
Snap.
No.
Rimshot sounds like basketball. Rim Job, everybody knows what that is.
Yeah. And rim shot is it like makes you think of it. Like that's where my mind goes when I hear rim shot. But it's like, oh, they're like trying to divert the naughtiness.
Yeah, but with this, no, they really weren't. Like he respected children too much. One thing to say about Jim Varney and his commitment to this character is even when he was dying with cancer, to the day he fucking died, when he was in the hospital, he had his costume or his Ernest costume with him, and he would go and visit sick kids in the oncology ward.
Yep.
Dude had a heart of fucking gold. He knew that kids liked him, and he liked kids. Yep. So he gave back until the day he died.
Yes, he did, and what a tremendous talent he has missed. And hey, Ernest has a special place for a few of us.
Yeah. And Will, I apologize. You didn't get to meet him in this movie, but come Christmas, you will get to meet Ernest's best friend, Vern.
Yep. And how he saves Christmas.
That's not exciting.
And the return of Chuck and Bobby.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Chuck and Bobby.
Chuck and Bobby are fucking cool.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Well, you will. Just stay tuned.
I bet I will.
Those are the guys that sold him all the bullshit troll repellent for like $1,000.
You know, that has to be one of my favorite scenes of the whole thing, is them thinking they're taking advantage of them, or when the kids got the super soakers filled with the milk, because the super soakers were everybody's jam at that time.
Yes, and they probably got some neat sponsoring for that shit, because even when I saw it, I was like, yeah, it's a super soaker.
Yep. Super soakers were the best.
Yes,
They made swimming, they made outdoors way more fun.
I like to shoot people from inside while they're outside, because I don't like personally going outside. I'm pale skinned.
I recognize that.
Try growing up in the Southwest with pale skin.
Does LA count?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
because it's
Fair
on
enough.
fire most of the time anyway. So
Yeah.
Oh, we had some good ones. Anyway,
All
I'm
right.
not even. We've got people that have been affected by fires. I'm not going to crack any jokes about that.
Nah, we're just having a good time. We had a good time with Ernest Scared Stupid. Maybe not so much Will, but I don't know. Final thoughts? Thumbs up, thumbs in the middle, or thumbs down, guys?
I'm going thumbs up. I always love Ernest.
I'm going thumbs up. Will's got thumbs down. But hey, you know, it's something for everybody. May not be for everybody, but it's a good time and a good scary movie as we're kicking off October month for Suns and Shadows. So stick around. We got some other fun movies coming this month on 0 Point Reviews. Make sure you check us out on all of our social media platforms. We got Facebook, Twitter. We are at Suns and Shadows. We're also on Instagram at Suns and Shadows Cast. We are at sunsandshadows.com. Thank you again, everybody, and we'll see you down the road.